Head Coach Tom
Okay,
Randy.
we'll wait.
I'll get the thumbs up. Here we go. We'll open it up to some questions for Coach Brands.
Tom, you've represented this for a long time. Did it go beyond your expectations?
I mean, yeah, I mean, when you see the crowd the way it went, and someone pointed it out to me, so I didn't really notice. I noticed when you walk out and when you're walking, looking right across, there wasn't, you know, any concrete. It was all black. And that's what we like. And then you see all the way down, it's good.
What can something like this do for sport of wrestling?
I think the biggest message is that a program like the University of Iowa that doesn't want for fans is still trying to set the bar higher and higher, and I think that's what's important. I think it's a mentality and it's a commitment to the program from the administration as well, and it jives with what we want to do. We want to get better every day, and we want to have better events every year.
Did you have to remind your guys that this is more than an event, that it actually meant something?
More reminders throughout the last months, so it's been steady. You know, I think we got guys, and that's probably the thing that, you know, as a competitor, when you look back on it, you're going to say I was part of it. There's going to be a lot of posters and pictures and photographs and fanfare for a long, long time. And they'll look back on it and say they were part of it, but the biggest thing is they got ready to go. And the performances that we had that were positive, those guys definitely got ready to go.
Tom, what about Sam Brooks? Really gave you a
Brooks, big time. I mean, that's the bonus points. That's not just a bonus point, that's 2 bonus points. It's a 5-point win team-wise, and that's big and confident. And the way that he was wrestling and how hard he was hitting those holds, how he was finishing, that's what we want. And he can do that against anybody. I mean, his consistency can be there against anybody. He's that good. I've said that for a long, long time.
On the other side, when Meyer got put on his back, your thoughts?
We were in trouble right away, and then after a while, we weren't in trouble from getting pinned, but we had to get the heck off our back because time was ticking, you know. And then when they stopped it, I didn't know why they stopped it, you know. So it was in our favor, and you know, whatever. But we did some good things to come up, and we weren't just trying to bridge because that's where you get in trouble. But we scooted our hips close, and then we were actually like getting close with our hips to bump the guy forward, so he wasn't able to get perpendicular to us and, you know, pop your head off like a dandelion. You know, our head wasn't going to get popped off there.
What's it like to coach? What was it like for you to coach an atmosphere like that? You're always at a high level anyway.
It's good. It's good. The only thing is there's more people that see you when you're really like high strung. So, but it's good. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it was an incredible atmosphere. You can't deny that, and even I can't deny that. And I'm one that likes to talk about the performance, but this was a performance in itself with the event and the way it was managed and the way that it was, you know, continually upgraded. As we went, it got better. As we went, it got better. And Luke Eustace gets a lot of credit for that, and our administration, and Gary Barta, and football, Federici, all those, everybody that we've talked about for a long, long time now, they should, you know, take a bow.
You talked about setting the bar high. Do you have any words for Tom Ryan and Gil Sanderson and these Division I coaches from other teams?
They're doing just fine, and we got work to do, so I don't pretend to have any advice.
How about in regards to them? Most likely we'll have events like this.
Well, Gil Sanderson's been talking about making the sport better for a long time. I mean, that's where his head is, so. And with the rules, with the events and national tools and that stuff, so he's on the same page here.
Coach, what about your acting? Big win after Sammy's win that you really needed.
That was a big win, a little bit tight maybe. I don't know why it had to be tight, but you know, the guy was in and out on us and doing the things that they do best, and we got caught a little bit early and then kept our hips up. And he was in deep on us, and we never let him like sit us or lift us. You know, we kept heavy hips on him, and then after that he never really got to us, and you know, we actually had a takedown at the end of that match. In my opinion, and that was from go behinds, and a couple of times we jumped that go behind. So we were moving our feet there, but we wrestled a little bit tight. And I think he can ride more too. I think he can control that match on top more.
A lot of events never live up to the hype, Coach, but this one, do you agree this one exceeded the hype?
The hype for the fans is what's important to me, and that's what it's about. Our fans, I'm selfish that way, but I know it's great for wrestling, and, I mean, there's people in Russia and Turkey and Iran that are gonna see this as well, or maybe even saw it, and they will know about it. You know, this is the city that Dan Gable lives in. So, you know, that's a big part of it as well, you know, internationally too.
How important was it just to get a win in a duel like this?
There's the question. It is important. That W is important. And we didn't wrestle well. I mean, you look at 8 back points given up in Cooper's match, and then Meyer giving up 4, and then, you know, and coming just close, and just not really realizing how your opponent's feeling and how to capitalize on it. And you're ready to, you know, so what? You start slow a little bit, and then you get yourself back into it, and then you let things kind of get away from you again. And we did a good job of not letting things like unravel completely, like Cooper. I mean, he'd give up 4 near fall. That could have, you know, but, you know, you're going for a big move there, a fall there. At the very least, you end up back on top, you know, and that guy's funky there. So you got to be able to feel those things and anticipate before they happen.
This is the first time we've seen the new stalling calls. What are your thoughts on how they were called today?
Pretty consistent, I thought. It was pretty consistent. There was one there at the end of the 74-pound match that, you know, maybe I was begging for it. I'll watch the film and then I'll evaluate myself. But I had an issue with that one, but other than that, it was consistent.
You guys seem to wrestle the boundary line well. Have you practiced under the new rules and really trained for
Every
that?
year there's new rules. Every year there's situations. There's a finger grab rule that a lot of people don't know about. You're going to see a lot less of that, and it's making the sport better for the most part. I think stalling is stalling. I don't think we need an out-of-bounds rule, but I think the way that they called it was right, and yes, we do practice the rules.
You know, Gilman and Clark got you started off well. You want to talk a bit about their performance?
Yes, great wrestling. Clark got caught up in a little bit of a riding match. You know, when you score those back points, I think maybe he could have had a little bit more urgency to get the major decision on his feet. I think he can do that a little bit more, but, you know, I tell you what, he's wrestling his match, and we're not going to question him. But we got to get those major decisions. And the thing is we're close to those majors, so that's positive. Now we got to get the majors. A guy like Sorensen, you know, that wasn't a close match. And, you know, another takedown there with riding time, you know, I think it's a major. I don't remember the score exactly, but I think I'm right there. You know, get the takedown there. And, you know, I think we might have needed 2 takedowns. But anyway, we're in there. We're widening the gap a little bit. What we need to do is we need to bring our, you know, the 57. We need to get him more aware. We need to bring that 165 around. You know, so what if it was a big challenge for him with the #1 ranked guy, the best kid in college wrestling? So what? Right now, you know, with Derringer. You know, Patrick Rose, he's capable too, and we never really even got to him. And we can get to these guys. And Sam Stoll, you saw the weakness. What's the weakness there? Bottom position. Logan Ryan, you saw the weakness, giving up wrist. So, you know, bottom position is big right now, and those near fall.
Tom, with the chance to capture a new audience, what was your take on the action as a whole?
Better than maybe some big duels in the past? That's a good question. And I think that there's probably some people that with the noise and just the difference in wrestling and how where the noise comes from and why the noise is there. And I think you're going to capture some fans. I think the action was so-so, but I think it was better than maybe a lot of times in an early season big duel meet like that.
Did you practice it all outdoors to simulate any of this?
We did a lot of, you know, outdoors where we come here and looked at the place. And when I say a lot, it was 3 times, 2 times. We didn't have a mat down, but we knew where the center of the mat was. And we pointed out, you know, when there was 32,000 fans, you know, this is where it's going to be out to and on both sides. And, you know, so they knew. But, you know, the biggest thing is that they did a good job themselves of getting ready to go.
Do you feel like the product that a lot of these maybe fringe fans saw today will get them at a lot more meets down the road?
I think that it's kind of with Andy Hamilton's question, I think that you can always do more. Wrestling is a sport that can be dry for people that don't know what's going on out there. And I think there was a lot more out there than maybe there could have been. I think it was a lot better than it could have been. Could have it had been better? Absolutely it could have been better. And especially, you know, with a Cooper coming from behind like that, maybe get the W, you know, maybe, no, do it. And Meyer the same way. We give up a third period takedown there. The guy's playing possum. You have to be able to feel that. And Meyer, he runs into that. You know, he runs into that. And so, you know, our period's the third period. So there's a lot to talk about with the team as well and moving them forward.
Do you go to Kirk Ferentz and say, let's do this again next year?
No, we just, you know what, Kirk Ferentz, he doesn't even know this is going on, even though he knew it was going on like this yesterday. He doesn't know this is going on now, because, you know, he's getting ready for Minnesota, so. What we say to football is keep doing what you're doing, because we know where our bread is buttered, and you pay the bills. And that is the truth, and I've said that a lot. We're very, very gracious, and we got the best coach in America, I believe that. And I say that, sunshine and not so much sunshine.
Anything else? Okay, we'll bring in Coach John Smith here. Thank you.